What's good, you guys? It's your girl Sid, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm gonna be reacting to something that I'm gonna be reacting to something different, that's for sure. All right, if you haven't been on the whole Netflix wave, basically there's this whole Jeffrey Dahmer documentary that came out. Is it a documentary or just his story, whatever the case may be? It came out, everybody was talking about it, everybody was watching it, so of course I had to watch it. Now before watching it, I'm not gonna even lie, like I didn't know much about Jeffrey Dahmer. You ever like know somebody just off of their name, but like you don't know why you know them or what they did or whatever? So after I watched it, I saw this video pop up on my YouTube feed called Top 10 Things Netflix's The Jeffrey Dahmer Story Got Factually Right and Wrong. So I thought, why not watch it? I just can't believe I'm even reacting to this video right now. It was really a lot for me. Like, you know when you like put the shows or whatever in like that extra speed, I had to put in like a 2x speed because his stares and his whole little breathing hard, like it was just too much for me. Oh my gosh, I was part when he was talking about some, I made you a sandwich. Bitch, I don't give a fuck if you made me a platter.
What's going on?
Welcome to
Bro, that part was so sad. Like, I still can't believe, like, I already know that that's gonna be a fact, that they actually did lead the boy back. Alright, so, real quick, I just know, number one, they really did lead this boy back into the apartment because I was doing some research after I watched it and I saw that they really did that and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with them? And number two, I don't know if it's about to be in here, but his neighbor was not really his neighbor. She lived in the building like across from him or something. That's one thing I know. All right.
Today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things Dahmer Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, got factually right and wrong. For this list, number 10, How Jeffrey Dahmer Was Caught. Right. Netflix's limited series about Jeffrey Dahmer begins with the night a would-be victim survived an encounter with the killer.
I saw him testifying.
On July 22nd, 1991, Tracy Edwards spent hours in Dahmer's apartment in fear, waiting for an opportunity to make his escape. And though the way in which he escaped is depicted differently in the series, Edwards did hit Dahmer and ran out of the apartment.
I hit him.
I saw this
towards the door, and he was right there, tried to grab me, get me back in there.
In a dispute with the owner of the apartment.
I was doing for him so hard when they were showing this. I was like, beat his ass.
Number 9, Dahmer wore yellow contacts. Right.
He wore contacts?
One of the lesser-known facts about Dahmer was his strange habit of wearing yellow contact lenses.
You see my contacts?
Look, you see, it's those little pauses. Like, that is why I had to fast forward. It was like 2 in the morning, and I'm just like, I can't be listening to you like slow breathing and just making a what is it called, the anticipation like more dramatic. Like, just stop. Shout out to this actor first of all, because you know how good of an actor you gotta be to like really make somebody hate you. Like, I hate this guy. I feel like he was dead ass Jeffrey. When an actor is that good, it's a good and a bad thing because you really get at your craft, but you a little too good.
He wore them because he felt connected to 2 dark characters in his favorite movies. The Emperor from Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and the Gemini Killer from The Exorcist 3. In changing his appearance to resemble these powerful fictional figures, Dahmer himself felt more powerful and predatory. Number 8, How Ronald Flowers Survived. Wrong.
Bro, I was low-key, high-key thinking that when I was watching it. They made it seem like he went and got off the bus and he went to like the cornfield or like the flower field or some shit and just passed out. And then they never talked about him ever again. Oh no, he ends up in the hospital. Didn't he? Who found him? Am I tripping? Okay.
Another survivor of Dahmer was Ron Flowers, who met him when his car broke down and Dahmer offered to help. He took him to his grandmother's West Allis residence and drugged his coffee. But Dahmer is interrupted when his grandmother sees that something is wrong with the young man.
You should take that young man to a hospital.
What? He's just a little wasted, Grandma.
I will not
Grandma.
He'll be fine. Just let him sleep it off. Jeez.
If I ever like, I don't have, well, I have grandparents, but I never got to meet them. But If I ever talk to my parents like this, if I talk to my mother like this, like, I'm just flinching thinking about it. Like, what the like, what? Excuse me? Like, so watching him talk like this, like, I was like flinching for him. He was talking crazy as to his grandma.
He is adamant about staying with the unconscious guest, making sure he gets on a bus the next morning.
Shout out to grandma.
But her actual involvement in saving Flowers from her grandson has never been reported. Like in the series, Flowers woke up in County General Hospital.
No shout out to grandma.
You OD'd. You're lucky to be alive.
But what isn't mentioned is that he was also covered in abrasions and believed he might have been assaulted. He later testified that he didn't know how he got there, though the series provides a fictional scenario.
The guy I met last night, he was weird. He must have slipped something in my drink.
Don't be drinking from nobody, y'all. I be taking it as far as, like, if you go out and, like, you at the bar or something, like, first of all, if you outside and somebody offered to buy you a drink, the rule is, like, you got to go with them to get the drink, to make sure, like, they don't do nothing crazy to it. But I don't even be messing with that because I think a little too much. You know what I'm saying? I think a little too much. And I'm going to be thinking that you and a bartender is in cahoots, low-key, and he slipped some shit in my drink for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't sound crazy, do I? It's just, you really can't trust nobody. You really can't. Like, respectfully, mind your business, get your own drink, sell me the money for it. But still the bartender. This is why I just stay home, huh? I think I have, like, social anxiety. Like, I have anxiety of being outside, low-key, ever since Corona. I'm getting too personal.
Number 7. Dahmer posed in yearbook photos.
He did not.
How did he get in there?
I don't know. Dan, how did you not catch this?
I'm sorry, I didn't see him in the photo.
It's your goddamn job, Dan.
The Netflix series mainly follows Jeffrey Dahmer as an adult. But a flashback to him in high school shows him sneaking into a yearbook picture for the Honor Society, despite not being a member. Yes, he actually did this, and his face was subsequently blacked out of...
I just have so many questions right now. How did he know what time they was taking the pictures? They really blacked his face out.
Former classmates have described how his bizarre behavior in school quickly went from entertaining to concerning, given his heavy drinking.
And I remember sitting next to him in a first period, I believe, history class, and he had a styrofoam cup of scotch. I believe it was scotch. I remember...
Y'all would bring some licks to school? Be honest. Comment down below.
Number 6. Dahmer killed Dean Vaughn.
Oh, good.
Episode 7.
When they showed this, I was just like, all right, the damn neighbor. Like, now you're not even trying to be low with it. Like, which I didn't get about half these cases because, like, if you, like, ask around and they say the last person I saw Jeffrey was with my friend was Jeffrey, and everybody, all right.
The series doesn't follow through with his story, but it does point viewers in a certain direction. Vaughn was really a tenant in the building. He was found strangled in his upstairs apartment in early May 1991. Dahmer was questioned about the suspicious death before he was arrested, and again when he was eventually caught. Both times he denied knowing him, and no evidence was ever found connecting him to the crime. As of 2000...
I got so excited just now because I thought that one of the stories was wrong and not true. But this man really ended up dying, and they don't know how.
Knowing him, and
I don't like when I don't get answers to things.
Evidence was ever found connecting him to the crime. As of 2022, the murder of Dean Vaughn is still unsolved.
And what about Dean Vaughn? You was talking to him in the hallway, then I never saw him after that.
That's when he was telling her to eat the sandwich.
Number 5. Baptized the same day as John Wayne Gacy's execution.
That's really weird.
So you never done construction work before?
No. Well, like I said, it's just stuff around the house, helping my mom, you know.
The beginning of the final episode doesn't open on Jeffrey Dahmer, but rather another infamous serial killer, John Wayne Gacy.
I've never heard of
aka
him.
The Killer Clown. In the 1970s, Gacy took the lives of more than 33 young men in Illinois until he was arrested.
33? Bro, this shit is making me f***ing sick.
Gacy took the lives of more than 33 young men in Illinois until he was arrested in December 1978.
Gacy was the epitome of evil. And he was the epitome.
And he's f***ing smiling. Is that him? And he's smiling. Like, how?
Of being a great guy, which gave
this
him
video needs to hurry you.
the ability to be the most evil guy in the world.
For 14 years, the convicted murderer was on death row at Illinois' Menard Correctional Center. And on May 10th, 1994, Gacy was executed by lethal injection.
John Wayne Gacy was pronounced dead at 12:58 a.m.
He got a much easier death than any of his victims. In my opinion, he got an easier death than he deserved.
So did Jeffrey like schedule it for that day?
The thing is that he paid for his crimes with his life.
Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, Dahmer was being baptized by Minister Roy Ratcliffe. And, as it's briefly mentioned in the series, a partial solar eclipse also occurred that day. What does it all mean? We don't know.
It's giving Twilight.
Two notorious killers is definitely eerie.
Thank you.
Number 4, victim impact statements. Right.
I would like to say to Jeffrey Dahmer that he don't know the pain.
What's his name? Tony? What's his name? Tony? When it got to the episode about Tony and like how they started like, yeah, we felt bad for all the victims, but like this was like the first victim, I'm sure, that they like let us see from like his point of view and like his goals and like his family and like his ambitions. And it literally got too much for me. Like I literally started getting emotional as f***, and that's when I started having to speed it up because I just couldn't, like I could not let, it was getting to me too much. All right, I'm a very emotional person, I can't help myself, but yeah, I was like, enough is enough. Like I need to see how this ends, but like you're not about to have me crying in my right now, like, you know. And when I think about it, I really feel so bad for the families of these victims because low-key, like, not low-key, high-key shit, this whole Netflix series coming out is like really like the whole world is reliving this, and especially the families, like they're reliving having to hear about their relative and hear about Jeffrey, and this shit is just sick, bro.
One of the most heartbreaking parts of Jeffrey Dahmer's 1992 trial was hearing the impact statements. After sitting through the details of his crimes, family members of the victims had the opportunity to address the court.
And that just gets me
more
so...
harrowing statements came from Rita Isbell, the sister of Errol Lindsay. The series recreates the emotionally charged moment with actress Deshawn Barnes, who embodied the palpable pain, anger, and sadness of Isbell in her performance.
Now, I don't want to ever have to see my mother go through this again. Never, Jeffrey! Jeffrey! I hate you!
And Dahmer's own statement took a lot.
I'm just getting like, this shit is getting to me right now just reacting to this. Okay.
From the real life one.
That I did what I did, not for reasons of hate. I hated no one.
Number 3, Glenda Cleveland.
You see, I got, all right, my mood just changed, OD. But you see, I be knowing something, y'all. This is the only fact that I really knew. Miss Glenda didn't even live there.
For apartments. Wrong. In the series, actress Niecy Nash plays the role
Niecy
of Glenda
did
Cleveland,
her
a woman
thing.
who is
Niecy
often
did her
overlooked in
big
the
one
Jeffrey
with
Dahmer
this.
case. She interacts with him, mostly to complain about the smell and noise coming from his apartment through her vent.
I gotta say, that smell is worse than ever.
Is it?
The real Cleveland actually lived in the building next to the Oxford apartments. The character is likely a composite of Cleveland and Pamela Bass, the woman who lived across the hall from Dahmer, who possibly unknowingly consumed human meat given to her by her neighbor.
Not the fucking sandwich. Oh my fucking gosh. The bitch ate the sandwich? Is that what she just said?
Possibly unknowing.
What?
Pamela
Possibly
Bass, the woman
unknowing?
who lived across the hall from Dahmer, who possibly unknowingly consumed human meat.
Oh my gosh, she ate the sandwich, y'all. I know y'all lying. Who eats neighbor sandwiches, bro? If my neighbor brought me over a sandwich, I'm not eating it. Who eats neighbor sandwiches? Maybe a pie, it look good. A sandwich is crazy. Oh my gosh. I can't believe they just said that. This sandwich really bothered me, this whole like. Wait, okay, I didn't even hear what they said. So it's two different people combined into one character. I know she did not eat that sandwich.
The real Cleveland actually lived in the building next to the Oxford apartments. The character is likely a composite of Cleveland and Pamela Bass, the woman who lived across the hall from Dahmer, who possibly unknowingly consumed human meat given to her by her neighbor. However, Glenda Cleveland did continuously call Milwaukee police after her daughter Sandra Smith and niece Nicole Childress told her about a boy they tried to help. Number 2.
Wait, so they combined two people in one to make it more like... So wait, the neighbor... I don't get it. So who was complaining about the smells? The neighbor. But Glenda is the one who's making the calls and made the call about the boy that they're about to talk about, which I can't believe it. I know I'm not the only person that was just so tight and just mind bogged. I have to stop cursing, but this is getting me hot.
Officers returned.
We almost done with this video, bro.
Apartment. Right. In late May 1991, some young women, including Smith and Childress, found Konerak Sinthasomphone stumbling
You
in the
saw a
streets.
little boy outside, half naked, damn near naked, real disheveled, and a man come up and say, "It's my boyfriend. He drunk. Let me bring him home."
Not in the Oxford apartments hallway as shown in the series. They called the police to help the very young-looking boy.
He was holding on to me with a really, really strong grip, and he was trembling, he was shaking.
Wait, who's that?
Really, really strong grip, and he was trembling, he was shaking. So I just stayed with him, and I was like, I'm gonna get you some help.
But when Dahmer came back to his apartment, he convinced officers Joseph Gabrish and John Balserzak that Sinthasomphone was of age and his boyfriend. In the series, Cleveland is at the scene confronting police, trying to tell them that he was a minor.
Wait. You just gonna let him take this baby back inside?
Man. And even if you don't, I'm getting tired now. Even if you don't have the brain capacity to understand that this boy is a minor, if someone else is saying like, "Yo, he look a little young," maybe you're gonna double check. But no.
Where they live, we're gonna take him back inside.
Y'all don't at least want to find out how old this boy is first?
Ma'am, he says it's his boyfriend. We'll handle it from here.
I'm really sorry about this, everybody.
Despite protests from the women, the officers escorted Dahmer and his incoherent boyfriend back to his apartment.
When I don't get it, when they when they brought him back to the apartment, you telling me they ain't smell nothing? They smell some candles and shit. None of this makes sense. All this because they was homophobic, by the way.
Dahmer killed him. Tragically, this poorly handled ordeal actually happened. After Dahmer's arrest, Gabrish and Balserzak were suspended, but later reinstated. Before we continue, be sure to...
Bro, let's get this over with. Number one, Dahmer always wore glasses at trial. Okay, congratulations to fucking you, Dahmer, and your fucking bum-ass glasses. Listen... I just can't even deal. I don't know. All right, that was my reaction to 10 things Netflix is that Jeffrey Dahmer got factually right and wrong. I can't believe that she ate that fucking sandwich. But okay.
Or his glasses at trial.